Let's get into it, guys. Okay, take it nice and slow. We're going to inhale, exhale, just allow light washing over the body. We're going in with an aquamarine waterfall current just pulsing over the light body, sending us down into the fairy kingdom as we move through the waters and out the other side of the waterfall into the fairy domain. And just allow the water to wash over the body, cleansing and purifying your light. Dandelion clocks begin to reseed. Inhale, exhale, allow the seeds to reseed your light field with crystalline seeds of change. Softening into the light body and opening any areas of heaviness to be unlocked and released. And entering into the Fey domain, where we're met with multiple members of your family, multiple members of your tribes, and the ancestry within the great open fields within the forest. Stood under the great Yggdrasil tree of life. Just allow yourself to feel into the different Fey frequencies sat through this domain, recognizing resonance of the families. As we just begin to scan for layers of tension and discord between the families. where we begin to hear one another's disputes, disagreements, and misunderstandings. And as we feel and hear the disruptions, feel and hear the discord, we're just going to start to connect into the heart and into our understanding, into our empathy, in order to listen clearly to where the ancestry had come into split or separation. And we're just going to go through the process of understanding where we too hold discord within our own ancestral lineage. And we really want to just kind of raise this into the awareness and be able to understand each of the perspectives to ultimately find solution. First layer that's coming up is a separation via conflict of belief. And interest. That one felt quite painful over the heart as we start to get into and just isolate. Inhale, exhale. Opal ray of light. Setting into the heart. Feeling sadness coming up over the solar plexus and the heart and body. Grief. There is a way to find differences. You can still have your beliefs and I can still have mine, but we can still find solution to overcome a difference of belief. Let's project love through this community, through this Fae lineage, which ultimately presents as our own ancestral field, our ancestral lineage in human form. It's just a different perspective of it. And as we understand through the projection of love, we've got the opening and release of betrayal. Arguments, name calling, release the separation. Forgiveness and trust. Through the betrayal marker points. Highlighting pain over the backside of the heart. Take out the blindness, the blinded by rage. The end result being harmony and oneness through the community. Solar plexus, again, grieving. Identifying and recognizing, validating the grief within the groups. Completely validating anything that's being felt within that. As we validate, we then start to allow it to unravel and unfold. The fear of others, the fear of others' belief, which creates separation. And attack of their values. Bringing in oneness as the focal point. Oneness and compassion. Fear levels unlocking. Divine Mother Fae, overarching the whole group, breaking down the differences between the polarities through oneness. There is always a way to see wholeness within separation. Where everyone's holding a level of splitting within their own consciousness or fracturing within their own consciousness, this then reflects outwards towards each other. When the other has a difference of opinions or a difference of beliefs, this then creates a further split and separation, which we want to kind of highlight here and just work to bridge the gap between the two. Blue diamond bridge. Two sides of the pond, understanding they're not so different. Neutralizing war, neutralizing fights, aggression, and disagreements. And as the separation warfare belief within the Fae communities begins to dissolve, we're taken within the Yggdrasil itself. Letting go of control and moving into the energy of surrender, or using surrender to release control. And as we're within the Yggdrasil tree of life, the ancient family tree, we'll begin to sync up to our own personal ancestors outside of the soul group, or they'll still be within the soul group, but just allowing the ancestors to synchronize. And allow their wounding to be heard and processed, coming from a place of non-judgment. Sending in love. Carried down pain and trauma of the masculine lineage. expressed anger and control and domination. Underneath that is a layer of sadness, or a lot of sadness. Through the splits in trauma, the splits in the fracturing in the light body, the fracturing in the coding, carrying the emotional pain of abuse circulated through the masculine, when really it's a projection of deep, deep depression, grief, pain, sadness, etc. underneath all of the anger and domination. Control. And we're just going to acknowledge, I see you. I see your wounding. I see your pain. We can see the gravity of how it's linked up through layer upon layer. And amplified each time it's gone down, passed through generation to generation. Which created the hardness within the masculine body, but also damage within the masculine body to prevent it from kind of slowing down, calming down, and seeing itself as wounded. Clear out the victim mindset behind this. Emotional pain circulating, moving through the heart. Quite intense. To fully register the trauma that's been held through the ancestors. And how that impacts the way that you operate in your third dimensional reality, and how the parental function has impacted your growth and expansion. They didn't want to carry this wounding. They didn't want to have this held and extended down. They didn't know any better. their own limitations. It's projecting compassion and identify that they didn't actually want to go down that route. It was sort of through traumatic incident of their own growth, reprinted, and their soul's experience, reprinted layers of trauma for their own growth within that, which, as the victim template was overridden, this then distorted the mind over and over again, installing the patterns and behaviors. Let's unravel. Kristalla code. Dana auria diamatapuria sinokia gratinia autora. Reconnection to personal Christ. Synchronized through the cellular body. Engaging through the DNA. Illumination. Emerald light code. Reorientation. Changing of beliefs, pain up over the heart, intersyncing with the feminine consciousness, the mother lineage, ancestral trauma, highlighting, updating, and opening, feeling through the mother wound. Cause and effect response from the masculine distortion created separation between the family on multiple levels, family ordering coming back into play. Unlocking fear within the feminine body. Hierophant star spinning through center, through the mother, father, lineage sat at the heart of the Fae, within the Yggdrasil, updating the family tree. Opening the vertical pillar within the ancestral line, connection into the source body, the service to others response, bridging the higher heavens to the lower heavens, mending separation within ancient family splits, bridge between the worlds, bridge between the polarities, grief, trauma, sadness, pain, releasing as it's being acknowledged, as it's highlighting through the body, allowing the females to be seen, allowing the mother line to be seen, vertical ancestral impact, so this is going up the dimensional scale through the ancient family line, whereas before it was the biological family line. And at the first point, it was the horizontal family line, so the collective field presented as Fae. So we're going through every iteration of ancestral clearing here. Victimization through the feminine, abuse, trauma, releasing, unlocking and delineating artificial infiltration through the masculine line, and which is impinging through the feminine body as well. Resyncing masculine feminine archetypes back in alignment with the law of one, the triquetra, triangular, triune spectrum of the Trivecca sequence, synthesizing DNA genetics, aggressive traumas highlighting around the victimized feminine, fearful of moving back into alignment with the masculine, unlocking the fear, encrypting trust, faith, Divine Mother imprints, reallocating distrust patterns, in alignment with the the Divine Mother, sinking into her faith and her innate wisdom, and trust, circulating through the feminine body, unlocking abuse patterning, and connecting into the deepest depths of the shadow and of those locked within reversal hell realms, and sending the signal back to these aspects that it's safe to come out. By anchoring Divine Mother's light into these hell realms, into the aspects locked within there. And these parts of the feminine historically would have kind of been, or not just the feminine, but the masculine too, locked within these places when they've experienced quite extreme levels of fragmentation and distortion to the belief systems, which have created mental health issues. So that's warped the belief system and it's warped the ability to move out of trigger points comfortably. We just sync up to these aspects and just start resurrecting the light within there. Connecting back in with the ancestors, the biological ancestry, and allowing them to resync up with their aspects as well, pull them back up vertically. Rebuilding the linear perspectives, the linear timelines, as the aspects come back. Resurrecting the awareness, resurrecting the aspects back into alignment with the life force current, building in trust and faith. Repairing ancient family splits. On all levels and all aspects. Repairing the rod. Through 3D, 4D, 5D, 1D and 2D. Recoding, syncing up to the 1212 current. Recoding ancestral trauma, looped through your own energetic field. Oh, high heart release. Unlocking through the crown. Registering the fear, trauma locked through that feminine, the feminine body. And now that it's kind of rising up to the surface, we can thank it for the understanding how much we've been looped into our ancestral patterning. And that's been relaying through our own experience. And now that we've seen it, we can let it go. Interlinking masculine, feminine archetypes and bridging hieros gamos, sacred union, and sacred understanding to bridge a level of deep trust in one another. Heart pain release. Looking back through inside the trunk of the Yggdrasil, everything starts to glow gold and the codes appear on the tree. Allow the tree trunk and the branches to evolve, raising up and restoring any decay, any rot, and repairing any root damage, stabilizing the base of the tree, restoring root function. Into a place of stability. High amounts of trauma unlocked and released as the tree reconstructs. And thus does your genetic. Recoding the field as we step out of the tree, the ancestral Fae or the Fae community begins to cheer, and the storm clouds and distortions that sat overhead are now dissipated and shining as a rainbow on the sun. Diamond sun illumination. Spin through center, bring that diamond sun forwards, align through the Fae. Spin, 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 reintegrate diamond sun aspects and fragments. And then allowing this just to unfold through the forestry kingdom, through the Fae kingdom, as it opens in the Fae gardens or the Fae forest. We've got all of this new plant life growing into full bloom. So on that note, we're going to inhale, exhale, come back to present, update through all fields, update through all localized grids, and seal forward through the I am presence of that which you are. Thank you.